Portal 2 was released in 2011 by Valve and was the last good game they ever made. It's a sequel to their critically acclaimed game Ricochet, and is the highest rated game on Steam. Up there with some random 2D factory game and one other I've never heard of, so that's obviously a trap. So, is this game really any good, and will Half-Life 3? The game starts with you being woken up in an aperture science relaxation chamber and forced to do strenuous exercises. Then you go back to sleep and wake up again and oh my god, everything is the same. This happens 5 more times until suddenly you wake up far into the future in the distant year of 2012. Someone is knocking on my door. If this person tries to sell me shower curtains, I'm going back to sleep. How the hell did you just knock on my door when you don't have any arms? Oi, I'm Wheatley and I'll be your tour guide throughout this facility. Here we are introduced to one of the main characters, Wheatley. Basically, he's a great guy and he's really smart, although if he ever disconnects from that rail, he will die. He tries to get us to speak, but since we are in 2012, we try and make him laugh by randomly jumping, because random equals funny. Mate, are you okay? You look like you got brain damage or something. Oh well. You escape the suddenly very broken relaxation vault and enter an old testing course, where the old Aperture employees tested... Wait, what kind of results could they possibly have been getting from people jumping through colour tubes? Google doesn't know. My only logical conclusion is that this entire place was just to prank some random guy into thinking teleportation was possible, then they accidentally invented teleportation. After a couple of tests, we meet up with our buddy Wheatley again. So go and check out that blimp over there, I'm certain there's a portal gun on it. We walk over and fall down a pit. What an original and unique gameplay feature. Luckily at the bottom of said pit is the fabled single portal device, which will allow us to make a single hole in the wall. After a few more tests, Wheatley appears again. He says some stuff about escaping and progressing, blah blah, wasn't really listening, to be honest. But then he says he has to fall off his rail. If he ever disconnects from that rail, he will die. Wheatley! No! Oh, he's not dead. Bit disappointing, honestly. To escape, Wheatley tells us we need to get through there before we can leave. It isn't the escape route, but I really could do with some fresh air. As we enter the room, we see the body of GLaDOS, or the more catchy term, Genetic Lifeform and Disk Operating System. So we pass Genetic Lifeform and Disk Operating System and fall down a pit, which will become a prominent theme throughout the game. End up in... This place is run by robots, then why do they need levers? Wheatley says, I don't know what these do, but as a capitalist, the colour red really offends me, so we have to turn them all on. But oh no, Genetic Lifeform and Disk Operating System has woken up. I'm so surprised. Now look, you killed and outsmarted me, but that was really stupid. Like, I'm wondering if I should give you a second chance, or I'm sorry, but are you a robot or some empathetic human? This makes Genetic Lifeform and Disk Operating System angry, so Genetic Lifeform and Disk Operating System tries to kill you by throwing you into another pit. Forgetting about your boots. Oh, I guess that jumping really did our legs some good. Here in the incinerator we find the dual portal device, just sitting here. If Genetic Lifeform and Disk Operating System was any more incompetent, I'd think she was doing it on purpose. Escape the incinerator and resume testing. This time we get to play with her new toy, deadly lasers and laser cubes. Although for a deadly laser it's surprisingly safe. Let's look at the results. You are a horrible person. We weren't even testing for that. If it makes you feel any better, science has just validated your mother's decision to leave you on a doorstep. This test has turrets. First plan, make them kill each other. Okay, second plan, stealthy ninja style. Okay, third plan, kill them all! I'd like to congratulate you, as most people come out of suspension terribly undernourished. You seem to have beaten the odds and managed to pack on a few pounds. Then Wheatley is here. I'm speaking in an accent that is beyond her range of hearing. This ingenious plan works flawlessly. I can hear you, metal ball. Quick, escape. Run, 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 run. Oh, there's a turret here.
Don't make lemonade.
I'll teach you not to like lemonade. Not the intended outcome, but good enough. Wheatley has a plan. Step 1, sabotage turret production. Done. Step 2, sabotage neurotoxin production. Done. This breaks the tube, and yes, I've always wanted to do this. Whee! Oh, bye Wheatley. Here we are. Genetic Lifeform and Disk Operating System's lair. The big moment. I've been training for this moment for hours, and she didn't even put up a fight. Damn. No wonder the entire place is falling into ruin. We put Wheatley in control and he saves us from absurdity because he's just a great guy. As a parting gift, he gives us genetic life form disk operating system, who he has placed into a potato battery, but tragically, as he tries to give it to us, he accidentally hits us into a 10-mile deep pit that happened to be there. So we fall down the pit for 3 hours and hit the bottom at terminal velocity, breaking our legs instantly and leaving us helpless to save genetic life form and disk operating system from being taken by the birds. At least, that's what I'll tell her, our legs are actually fine. Now we have to navigate through a condemned dump yard filled with asbestos. Throughout this part of the game we learn about Cave Johnson, Aperture's old CEO. Who is he, you ask? Well, luckily for you, I have access to Wikipedia. So there's this guy called Cave Johnson, and he wants to come into a bar and be like, hey, I'm Cave, and I live in a cave. So he bought a used-up salt mine. He was also a millionaire, and it was like 1930 or something. Basically, he was pretty well off. Anyway, he decided to call his company Aperture, even though it started off making shower curtains for the military. That seems oddly specific. Anyway, for some reason they made a portal gun, and he eventually buys $70 million worth of moon rocks that poison him. Or, they say poison him. We don't actually know if he got poisoned, he might have just died from old age. Anyway, surprisingly, he quite likes being alive, and he tries to create artificial intelligence, but he dies before the company can, so they put his assistant, Caroline, in instead. And I'm just now realising this is supposed to be revealed throughout the game, and I just spoiled it. And if you didn't want it spoiled, you're probably pretty angry at me. So, anyway, we find this massive round door that we open and find that it protects a smaller door behind it. This is the gateway to 1952 land. We get to this jail pumping station in 1952 land and press a load of buttons that could have easily gotten us electrocuted, but gotta take risks, I guess. We use this bouncy blue pudding to make our way through a few more chambers and then find an escape elevator. Of course it's boarded up. Why even bother? Turn around and find another pumping station in 1973 land pumping liquid speed. That is not what I expected to get from googling that. In 1973 land, Cave constantly complains about the fact that they can't afford to get famous people to test anymore, and they have to use random homeless people instead. Hey, that's called an elevator, not a bathroom. We find Potatoes, and because we can't think of a good reason to ditch her, we impale her on our portal gun and bring her with us. Beat all the tests and get to an escape elevator, which we swear isn't boarded up this time. God damn it! We arrive at pump station Gamma, the last pumping station, and it's piping this weird white liquid made of moon rocks. No idea what it's supposed to do. Could not find any uses for it at all. Open up another one of the giant doors, this one on the ceiling, and take an elevator back up to a place with loads of springs, up another lift, and end up back in the modern facility. Our lifespan reduced by 26 years from the effects of asbestos. Find out that Wheatley has been doing far more complicated and advanced testing than genetic life form and disk operating system ever did. So we put a stop to it, and try and kill him using a paradox. If the number 3 doesn't exist, then how can there be 3 games in the orange box? This doesn't work, but surprisingly it works on all of the walking cubes in the room, so make of that what you will. Also, it turns out that Wheatley has started destroying the entire facility, so I'm starting to think that he might not be as great a guy as I originally thought, but I'm sure there's a valid reason for all of this. Do a few more tests and move on to the next chapter, the part where he kills you. Did I mention the game has chapters? Well, it's too late now, I guess. Hello, this is the part where I stop you being alive. I could not find a way to beat this, so after 2 hours of trying I just used no-clip to get past. Wheatley isn't done yet though. He traps us on an excursion funnel. I think I forgot to talk about those too. Damn it. We are great nemesises, you and I. Like Holmes versus Moriarty, Aristotle versus Massey Spike Plate. Bill Gates versus I think we got away. I don't think he's noticed us. Run around the facility and arrive at Wheatley's lair. Boss fight time. Put corrupt cores onto Wheatley by attacking him with bombs. I don't know how I got this to happen, but I'm putting it down to skill. When he is corrupt enough, we press the button to put genetic life form disk operating system back in charge, but Wheatley has bombed it. For a guy designed to be a moron, that was a pretty good trap. Not such a guide, it was to have the source of all the portable surfaces visible, so we sent him to space forever. Then we put genetic life form disk operating system back in charge, because she's just such a great evil AI that wants to kill us. In conclusion, I really liked this game, but the guy I did co-op with had no idea what he was doing, and ruined the entire game for me. So Portal 2 gets a Black Mesa out of 10. Ooh, no.